Special Forces, World's Toughest Test star, Kody Brown accepts responsibility for his tense connections with his kids, saying, "I'm the discrepancy." Kody Brown, star of Sister Wives, acknowledges his failures as a husband and parent while attempting to mend damaged relationships. But the hardest challenge Sister Wives Kody Brown faced on the November 6th episode of Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, was admitting his shortcomings as a father. However, for Kody Brown, the most difficult aspect of the episode had nothing to do with crawling through mud or running in the scorching desert. Instead, the Sister Wives actor reflected on his shortcomings as a father when the directing staff criticized his decision-making after he and Sean Johnson battled through their hostage rescue practice. He pondered, "There's always the accusation that I was favoring one over another, yet they would turn against you saying things like, 'I don't need dad or want dad in my life.'" He had 4 wives and 18 children to maintain. Kody acknowledged that he felt rejected by the majority of his elder children, saying, "I was offended by a lot of what they did." He went on to say that he gave all my kids what I had, and that, as long as they were engaging me, they always got reciprocation. Even though he admitted that he doesn't want to admit I'm wrong sometimes, the 56-year-old was prepared to accept some responsibility for the division in his family. "I'm the discrepancy," he permitted. "I should have had a strong relationship with my children." Weeping, he said, "I'm in a place in my life now where I'm very willing to say that I've been wrong." He had been estranged from most of his elder children for years. He went on to say that his failings were because I thought I knew about being a dad and husband, and I didn't. "I genuinely believed I did, but I misinterpreted that, and I made numerous mistakes." And in response to his mistakes, Kody wrote, "I hated being blamed for it, and so it made me resistant to ownership." However, he is now prepared to give up everything in order to love his family, including his ex-partners, Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown. In a confessional, he admitted, "I would like to repair all the relationships with my family and even my ex-wives." But he said it was difficult. However, he was prepared to labor hard and get his hands dirty. Regarding the list, which includes daughters Madison Brush, Mykelti Padron, and several of his elder sons, he stated, "I am sorry that I have hurt or offended my children, and that kind of humility I need back in my life," he added. Back at camp with the remaining competitors in the series, he delivered a similar message, saying that he hadn't been honest with himself and wasn't taking ownership of things. "I've been lying to myself about things that the directing staff want honesty from me," he said. Even though he acknowledged that, "I don't know exactly how I dig into this here," the former polygamist, who is now entirely committed to his lone surviving wife, Robyn Brown, was eager to go to work. "What they're telling me is to get over your facade, stop protecting yourself, and be honest with yourself." He's also going through the emotional ringer on Sister Wives, while he physically tests himself on his quest. Special Forces, World's Toughest Test airs Thursdays at 9 p.m. on Fox. Check out what he has shared this season with his ex-spouses. In Sister Wives Season 20 premiere, Janelle Brown said that she is officially done with her ex-husband, Kody Brown, as well as his attractive pecs and six-pack abs, and that she is taking a cue from Meri Brown. "I had sort of thought about a spiritual divorce a long time ago, and didn't even realize it was an option," the patriarch's second wife revealed on the September 28 premiere, but she was never legally linked to Kody throughout their 29-year marriage. "And so when Meri got one, I'm like, oh, hey Meri, who do I call?" Additionally, her ex-sister wife, who was given a spiritual release from their previous church due to abandonment, was more than willing to provide some information. Madison Brush is still trying to atone for her father's transgressions, and Janelle said, "She has been kind of helping me get in touch with everybody." Madison, the second oldest of her and Janelle's 6 children, acknowledged on the September 28 episode that she's still having trouble adjusting to her continued distance from Dad Kody. The mother of 4 said, "You want your dad to show up," during a confessional with husband Caleb Brush. "You want to make things right. I know I did something wrong, and I'm upset because I'm still working on not being let down. I'm still learning how to just see him for who he is," she wrote, adding that she's trying to comprehend that perhaps he didn't know how to show up. He may be in pain. Additionally, he might not be prepared to give up much. "I think we're in an impasse here because this healing can only happen on their terms only," Kody said, emphasizing his wish to have healing with Mary, Janelle, third wife Christine Brown, and their kids. "I had marriage proposals," Robyn Brown, Kody's fourth and last surviving wife, said in the Septage 28 episode, adding that she always wanted the family, not just the man. For example, she added, "Different men at different times said, 'I'd marry you in heartbeat.'" It wasn't always an on bended knee situation. She never faltered in her response. "I was just like, well, I plan to live a plural marriage." And if Kody hadn't been a loving husband and father with 3 wives when he approached her, I would have said the same thing to you. However, now that they are unwitting monogamists, Kody declared, "It's you and me, baby." But he did have one worry, to be honest. "There's something I want maybe more than you do," Kody said to Robyn, implying that they were having relationships. In a confessional, Kody went on to say, "A polygamist is receiving more than he desires, and a monogamist is not receiving enough." As the ardent road tripper revealed in the October 5 episode, Mary is dating and knows exactly what she wants in a man. "He must be tall, and super important for me is to find somebody who wants to travel with me, not to mention not have cats. You must be a dog lover." She also requires someone who isn't easily frightened. One of her more problematic dating experiences included a guy she was chatting to. He was like, "I can't continue talking to you," she explained, after he found out she was polygamous. "I'm not even open to or interested in this," she said, adding that it was quite damaging to her. "Due to the fact that I was a 'you don't want to pursue a relationship with me' polygamist?" According to Mary, "It was like my first real big realization that that's going to inhibit some people from even wanting to start talking to me." Janelle is certain that she was the only person in her large family who genuinely desired to set foot on Coyote Pass. In the Octa 3 episode, Janelle talked about the family's conflict over the 14-acre property they bought before moving to Flagstaff, Arizona in 2018 and said, "I'm not actually sure I ever had the dream of us all being out on Coyote Pass. Because even if Kody's second wife could see herself moving there, why not? It's a gorgeous piece of land." She said that her ex and his other brides were only going through a phase. "Nobody really wanted to live out there," she added, adding that Mary would have complied if everybody else had done it, and that Christine most certainly didn't. According to Janelle, Kody and Robyn had a house that was pretty much there without being there on the property, referring to the 5-bedroom, 2-acre home that they later sold for $1.7 million. Even though they all screamed about the land they first divided into 4 different parcels, Janelle said, "I just could see very soon after we moved to Flagstaff that that was not going to be a thing." Kody has a theory about why his relationships with most of his adult children, aside from Robyn's oldest children, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, are kind of garbage. "I think most of the relationships between me and my adult children are strained," he said in the episode on October 5th. "It's an issue of trash talk and innuendo, and it has challenged loyalties and trust on all sides." Furthermore, not many of his adult children are currently members of Team Kody. Months after she and husband Tony Padron moved to North Carolina with their 3 kids, Mykelti Padron, one of his 6 daughters with Christine, offered her opinion on the conflict, despite the fact that she had been the most overtly supportive of her father. In an October 2024 fan Kwanda posted on the Instagram account @WithoutACrystalBall, she stated, "I believe that if he took more responsibility in any of his actions, his kids, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, would reach out." Instead of if he just said, "Look, I understand I did blank wrong," he would not be blaming the kids, the parents, the rumor, or their feelings about his connection with his other wife. "I apologize. Can we discuss it?" The sale of Coyote Pass in April 2025 gave Janelle and Mary a nice parting gift as they left their marriage to Kody. Christine had already signed over her share of the land in exchange for keeping the proceeds from the sale of her Arizona home. As Janelle joked to Mary on the Octagon 5 episode, it was a nice way to just be like, "See you later. I hope to see you no more. Goodbye." However, she most definitely wouldn't have dismissed a more exquisite gift. She stated that if she had been legally married to Kody, she would have seized half of his assets because it would have been half mine. Before Kody and Robyn agreed to close the door on their Coyote Pass dreams, they had to open, not a window, but the contract on their new $2.1 million manse. After months of going back and forth with his exes about unloading the massive property, selling Coyote Pass became a reality for us, Kody detailed in the Octaflar's 12 episode. Only when we discovered we really wanted this other house. The dad of 18 is also eager to unload the bad memories of their previous home. "We've experienced a lot of heartache here," he posited, "and we want a new beginning, something different, something new." Though Kody felt his love should be multiplied, committing to 4 different wives, his attention wasn't divided all that equally. "I felt like I was devoted to our family and to plural marriage, but then I struggled to be devoted specifically to every single wife and vice versa," he reasoned on the Octagon's 19 episode. "I don't think the wives were devoted to me or to each other as a whole." Among his missteps, he guessed, was setting up Robyn in her $1.65 million, 5-bedroom Flagstaff home, while other spouses were making do with less. "I don't know what went wrong," he said of ending his unions to Mary, Janelle, and Christine, "but I know that I stirred up a jealousy putting her in this house. In any case, my wives couldn't accept that I was prepared to go to such lengths to ensure Robyn's safety. For Christine, it was difficult to be kind with Kody. We were married to a guy that was a lot of work," she reflected during the episode that aired September 26th. "He had a lot of things that he liked and a lot of specifics, like certain dietary restrictions, his grooming, and things like that." In summary, she said, it was a lot. Enough that following their breakup, Janelle isn't exactly looking to increase her love. She said, "I think maybe Kody was a lot of work," to Christine and David Woolley, her current husband. "So I think that a relationship must be really hard." She tells cameras, "David just can't handle that. I'm just not going to go date because I'm like, dude, no, no, no." This is why she is so resistant to David's requests that she sign up for Farmers Only. Kody was careful not to call his wives every possible name in the book. In the November 2 show, Christine asserted that Kody would rarely slip up and call us the wrong name. "There's certain moments you don't want to hear another woman's name. You know those moments that I'm talking about. Never happened." Even yet, there were a few near misses. "I would catch myself a lot," Kody acknowledged. "And I've certainly done it. I had a way of starting it sometimes and then pivoting." According to Christine, she felt like her ex-sister wife had stabbed her in the kidney. She explained to cameras that Robyn would tell her things that I thought were in confidence, and then I'd get in trouble for them, and Kody would get mad. "I can't trust her, so I stopped confiding in her. I feel betrayed by Robyn," she told David on the Novi 2 episode. "I felt like I could never really trust her, ever." Robyn, however, maintained that she was merely attempting to play marriage counselor. Christine would say to me, "I wish Kody would know this. I wish Kody would understand this. I'm struggling with this," she said. "Me being kind of a naive fool, I thought I could help, but I should have just stayed out of it completely." When her ex-husband set up a video call to talk about the possible sale of their Arizona house, Mary, who had formerly been a little enchanted by her status as Kody's favorite ex-wife, refused to engage in any of his attempts at small talk. The Noverseers 2 program featured his reflections on their joint talk with Janelle. "I don't know what happened with Mary because I remember helping her move to her place in Parowan, Utah, and it was all fun and games and cordial," he said. "And since then to now, it's got weird." But after listening to what Kody had said to cameras in past seasons, Mary insisted she was only interested in business and not pleasure. She said, "I just had to draw some really hard boundaries, And when we get on this video call, and he's being all friendly and trying to act like things are normal after some of the things that he has said to and about me and my friends, that's not going to fly. Although Christine enthusiastically accepted her now husband David's 2023 proposal, her ex-husband believes he ought to have had a voice. "My daughter lives in David's house," Kody said, referring to Truly, his youngest child with Christine. "I should know David." He also reflected that he should have had the right, even, to discriminate David. Janelle was thrilled to have her portion of Coyote Pass back and wasn't going to moan over losing the cash she had given Robyn and Kody for their 5-bedroom house in Arizona. In the November 2 episode, she revealed that her children feel like I should pursue the money that I put into Robyn's house, but it's going to be a fight. She went on to say, "There's always a billion reasons why he doesn't owe it, if she were to attempt to extract the money from Kody." Exhibit A. His sense that he had already paid back that specific favor. "Janelle helped Robyn and I buy our house, and I settled that debt with Janelle back in January," he maintained. "And she just stated to me, after that was done in January or February, she said, 'Our debt is settled. You're good with me.' It was more than fair." There are plenty of possibilities if Kody is still interested in having his love duplicated. On the November 2 program, he told Robyn, "I got another one of those emails from some woman talking about plural marriage," when he told his only surviving bride that the anonymous individual was kind of chastising me for deciding to quit plural marriage. Then she volunteered her services. "She's calling me out," Kody said Robyn, and then asking, sort of like, to get to know us for the purpose of joining the family. As Robyn acknowledged in a confessional, "For a split second, I think, oh, wouldn't this be great? This is what I've always wanted for my life." And, would they fit? To be honest, Robyn didn't say no right away, but in the end, the answer was no. She clarified her disapproval of the outreach by saying, "I find it very inappropriate that they would send it to Kody. It's not usually proper to go hitting on a guy. You have to go through the sister wives." But Kody Brown was sitting in his living room on a cold evening in Flagstaff, Arizona, among the quiet that had once been filled with chatter, laughing, and the turmoil of a large polygamous family. The house felt more empty than before, though. His formerly unwavering trust in his family's oneness had irreparably broken, and his marriages had fallen apart. Kody appeared anxious as the cameras started to roll for the upcoming Sister Wives episode. His eyes were clouded with frustration, and his long curls flowed freely. He looked at the production team and murmured under his breath, "They're all just after my money." Suki, the interviewer, arched an eyebrow. "Kody, who specifically are you referring to when you say they?" Kody let out a long sigh. "Suki, my former spouses. Christine, Janelle, and Mary all left. But now whenever I turn around, there's a new demand, accusation, or financial conflict. They seem to be trying to exhaust me." The action shifted to Christine preparing supper for her fiancé, David Woolley, at her Utah home. She chuckled quietly when questioned about Kody's remarks. "Yes, Kody still believes that he is the center of the universe. His money is not what I'm pursuing. All I wanted was tranquility, and I got it. Happiness cannot be purchased with money, and it never did for us." Kody paced the main room back in Flagstaff, his feelings growing. Even though Christine has moved on, she continues to live off the advantages our family provided. Janelle continues to use the resources that we jointly created. Mary, on the other hand, wants a cut of the profits even if she wants to be independent. The sole surviving wife, Robyn, sat quietly next to him on the couch. Her face was composed but anxious. "You know they're just trying to find their own stability," she added quietly. "Perhaps they only want what's fair and aren't wanting your money." "Fair?" Kody snapped. "Why would you leave me when things were tough? This family was created by myself. I looked after them all. I am now being viewed as a villain of some sort." It was evident that Kody and Robyn were at odds. Despite her desire to console him, she was aware of his descent into rage and paranoia. Robyn was crying in the confessionals that followed. Kody and I are not the same man. He is afraid and feels deceived. He is no longer able to think coherently. At the same time, Janelle was seen getting together at a nearby cafe with her adult children. They discussed how their father's resentment had affected them emotionally. According to Janelle, Dad is mired in the past. He believes that control or money are the main factors. However, we required respect and love. TLC switched to a final dramatic encounter as the show came to a close. "I gave everything to this family," Kody cried out into the chilly air as he sat by himself on his porch. "Everyone wants to steal from me now." But then his rage was broken by a vulnerable moment. He murmured, Maybe I pushed them away," as he glanced down. An eerie view of the deserted Brown family cul-de-sac. 4 homes that once stood for togetherness, but now stand for separation, heartache, faded out the last scene. Robyn thinks about getting Kody therapy to help him deal with his mounting anger as he tries to mend his religion and his money. Christine organizes a wedding in the meantime, and Mary makes a startling business choice that might lead to her running into Kody again. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina, and I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.